Good morning, gang. Merry Christmas Eve. Okay, hopefully everybody's getting ready to get ready, I guess, to go to grandma's house or have people over or waiting for Santa, doing whatever. Today's just fun, and tomorrow too, obviously. But it doesn't mean that we don't have to pay attention to what's going on. Sure, it's been a tough year. It's been a tough 4 years under this current administration, and hopefully that's all going to end in less than a month. Thank the Lord. Okay. A couple of things here that we need to pay attention to, and the big one, the two biggest issues in the election were the economy and the border. And we know the border is still a mess. We know Biden is pardoning murderers, and there's a story out this morning about some illegal who killed a kid in Missouri from driving without a license, driving recklessly, ran over a 12-year-old, and the judge, out of compassion, decided to release her so she could spend Christmas with her family. No bail, no bond, no nothing. Vehicular homicide, don't worry about it. She gets to spend time with her family. The family of the little boy does not. Okay. But that was that part. And then, of course, we talk about the economy. Now, it's been a rough year, been a rough 4 years again, for a lot of people. And Trump's got his work cut out for him to fix this one. And I'm going to explain why in a minute. You look at yesterday, Rand Paul put out his Festivus Report. If you know what that is, he does this every year around Christmas to shed light on the waste that is spent on by Congress. Okay. And I mean, it's amazing where we can spend money researching Russian mice or Brazilian dance groups, or, I mean, it's just dumbfounding, some of the money that's spent. And, they don't think it's, it's $300,000, or, it's only a couple of $1 million. Okay. $300,000 could easily build a couple of houses in North Carolina. I mean, granted, they'd be manufactured homes, but yeah, you could do that. All right. You could certainly build many of them for a few $1 million, but no, we need to fund crazy stuff like the Ecuadorian rainforest, because that's important to national security and the health and welfare of American people. That came out, and so we got to take a look at all that. The other thing I want to bring up real quick before I forget, doing cookie baking today or something like that, check your eggs. There is a massive recall on eggs that were purchased at Costco, all right? It is the organic Pasture Raised 24-count package of eggs with the Kirkland Signature on the top. It's got a UPC number of 966-191-0680. I will put this below so you can check. Those are a level 1 recall, meaning these are, do not eat these, okay? They're already saying salmonella, sick, death, that sort of stuff. So if you bought eggs at Costco recently, go check, make sure these aren't them. Okay, primarily this is affecting those of us in the Southeast. So, I'll give you that. But I want to get into just a little bit of what to watch, what to be aware of, because sure, even Trump is going to tell us things are getting better once his policies come in. There's some of this stuff he's got to fix, all right? And as I said, it's been a tough year. Christmas shopping should be done by now, except for all the last-minute dads who are going out this morning. And there's some of them, okay? Christmas shopping is usually a really good sign of the health of the economy from the individual standpoint and from the company's standpoint. All right, I'll give you this. This year, 16% of Americans say they're going to spend more on Christmas than they did last year. Okay? You think that'd be good? Except 35% of Americans say they're going to spend less on the holidays than they did last year. So we have inflation, so things are more expensive and people are still spending less money. Okay? Not even buying the same stuff they bought last year because then they'd spend more. So they're spending less and obviously getting less as well. That is not a good sign for the economy. Nor is the fact that this week you've had announcements that Macy's is shutting down 150 stores. Party City is going out of business. Big Lots is going out of business. Usually companies will wait through the Christmas season to see if they need to. I mean, again, you know what Black Friday is, right? Black Friday is the day that companies go into black, that they finally have paid all the bills for the year, and the last month they can turn a profit for the year. When the companies are saying, before Christmas, we ain't going to make it, that's not healthy for an economy. And who knows what else we're going to see this year in the way of more companies closing. Large businesses, small businesses. I mean, go walk through a mall, all right? I mean, they closed a huge mall here. I mean, it's now the site of an Amazon distribution facility. I go to a small mall that is just north of me here. I mean, it wasn't one of these big standalone, but I mean, it's not one of these two-story, whole 9 yards things. But it had a JCPenney in it and stuff. You go in there, most of the stores are boarded up. There's a few places left, you know, maybe a Bed Bath & Beyond and a pretzel place or something like that. That's it, okay? The malls are closing. People aren't shopping there. Sure, they're spending money at Amazon or whatever. No problem, I do too, okay? But those are jobs that get lost, which isn't good. And not everybody's going to go work for Amazon. Then you look, that's what I'm saying in regards to job openings, okay? We now have the fewest job openings in the United States that we've had since January of 2021. The problem is this time, we don't have a pandemic to blame it on, okay? So now all these people that are looking for work, there's less work out there. Add that to the 20 million illegals that are here and all these states that are saying, you need to give them work permits and let them go to work. Great, there's less jobs and feasibly more competition. Now, if you're looking for a job picking lettuce, maybe you've got competition, okay, but it's just the point. There's less jobs out there. You want a job in manufacturing? Well, you know, that used to drive the U.S. economy. We were a manufacturing country. And, yeah, not so much, right? Philadelphia Federal Reserve Manufacturing Index came out. Try this, negative 16.4. It was forecasted to be 2.9. So that means manufacturing has dropped almost 20% instead of increasing almost 3%. Yeah, don't plan on getting jobs in the manufacturing sector because those ain't happening either, okay? Mortgage rates, yeah, we can talk about those even though they've pulled back a little bit. Those 6 to 7% mortgage rates. Yeah, the U.S. home buyers lost over $33,000 in purchasing power, okay? And again, there's how you're going to value your dollar, not, gee, it's worth $1. Well, sure, in 1920 it was worth $1 too, but what could you buy with it? Well, we lost $33,000 in purchasing power. So that means any of those people that are working a $8 an hour job, household runs on two $8 an hour jobs, yeah, you have no purchasing power left. None. You've pretty much lost everything. So your money is basically worthless. Again, how much money you've got versus what you can buy with it. When you can't buy squat, we got problems. Okay. Cost of living, I think we can all agree with this one. Okay. But 95% of American households, a third of American households spend more than 95% of their income on basic necessities: housing, utilities, food. 95% of your income. Nothing else. We're not talking about going to buy new shoes. We're not talking about buying clothing. God forbid somebody want to take a vacation or something. Just the basics. That's insane. That's insane. When we're talking a third of the country basically can't make ends meet. That's catastrophic. Okay. In that same report, you also found that 25% of the households in this country this year struggled to pay their electric bill and didn't pay the electric bill at least 1 month this year because something else took all the money. Gee, honey, we can either have lights or we can eat. Imagine having that conversation. That's where a quarter of the households in the United States are. At that point, if you go, there's 126,000 subscribers on this channel. That means 30,000 of us had to have that conversation. Okay. And finally, we can all relate to this because we try to help. The use of food banks is at an all-time high. Groceries have gotten so ridiculously expensive. And as I said, people have gone from Trader Joe's and Whole Foods down to Kroger, down to Aldi, down to the food bank. When people can't afford food, that is a true sign of a failure in an economy. But it all goes back to what I said yesterday. This is all planned chaos by the globalists, by the ones that want feudalism. They want us all to be eating from the food bank because the government controls it. They want us not to be able to afford our house because then we can move you into government housing. It's been a while since we've talked about 15-minute cities, but don't think that those have been forgotten by the elitists. They want to herd us up, corral us in, and they want to be the sheepdogs. Me, for one, I ain't a sheep. That's the state of our economy 1 month before Donald Trump takes over. Let's pray to God that even with the incompetent people that we have in Congress, he can get something done to turn these numbers around, because this isn't sustainable. If this continues, we'll see a collapse of the United States. And if the U.S. falls, so does the rest of the world. And on that, Merry Christmas Eve. Pinball out.